I used to be so angry at the world. I just didn't feel like I could do anything right. I didn't feel like I was attractive enough. I didn't feel like I was creative enough. I didn't feel like I was smart enough. And it just felt like in every single area of my life, I just wasn't good enough. And it wasn't until I hit rock bottom that I just decided that I needed to change something because I couldn't bear to feel this pain anymore. And it was just stopping me from living my life like a normal person, and I just didn't feel good. So that's when I started on my journey of yoga. I started practicing, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why I was doing it, honestly. I was like, why am I working at a yoga studio right now? This is so random. But there was just something that was pulling me there. There was like this healing that I needed to do, that I just knew deep down that I needed to do if I wanted to like be okay with who I was. Because I knew like who I was like a special person. But that's not the way that I viewed myself, you know? Like, I don't know, my mind just kept telling me all of these things that weren't true. And I got so good at believing my mind, like, even the most unreasonable things that it would tell me, and the most just horrible thoughts and lies about who I am that would pop up. I would just believe it because I didn't know. I didn't know any better, and I thought that my mind was me. I thought it was the truth. And I listened, and it was so exhausting. And I couldn't live. I couldn't live without constantly feeling like I was meant to be somewhere else, or I had meant to say something else, or I shouldn't feel a certain type of way. And I think it just all comes down to that inner child, that part of me that I just locked away because at one point it just didn't feel safe anymore for her. So I think that's when I locked her away. And with her, I locked away my imagination, my creativity, and that was really hard. That was really hard because then my world became a world of logic and, just things having to be realistic, and suddenly my dreams just didn't really occupy any space in my mind anymore. And that's when I started to feel extremely sad all the time. And I was in so much pain that I was hurting other people around me. It was like a bomb that just was about to go off at any moment. And I just kept feeling like I was disappointing people. And I kept feeling like things were so out of my control. Bad things just kept happening to me. It felt like the world was so unfair. And I just felt so bitter. I felt so bitter and unseen. But I realized, I did it to myself. I had locked this this real me. I had locked her away a long time ago, and she was screaming. She was screaming because she wanted to be heard. And she wanted to be freed. But in order for me to free that real version of me, I had to look at the darkness. I had to feel all of the pain. And it was so hard. It was so hard because I had to take responsibility for everything that I told myself. I had to confess all of the lies that I had told myself and that I believed about who I was, who I could be, what I deserved. And it was only then that I was able to just finally be free and finally let my imagination run wild and stop punishing that little girl because she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve to be treated that way.